Hello and welcome to the Virtual Euro 2020 tournament. Day 4 highlights. Well, it's been a dramatic tournament so far, and I hope you enjoyed yesterday's highlights. Of course, we had the big fixture between England and Croatia, plenty of goals. Today, we've got some more dramatic encounters. We've got the final Group D fixture between Czech Republic and Israel. We have a big game between Spain versus Sweden, and an interesting encounter between Bosnia and Poland. You do not want to miss those games. They'll be coming up very shortly. But tomorrow, we end match day 1 with what is the group of death. You do not want to miss on it. There's two big games. Kosovo versus Portugal is one of those, and we also have the big fixture between France versus Germany to end match day 1. That is going to be tomorrow, 3 PM. We'll be live on twitch.tv for that, with the highlights up about 9 to 10 PM UK time. Well, welcome along to Rome for today's fixture between the Czech Republic and the Israelis. Of course, we saw yesterday in Group D that both of these sides watched on as England lost to Croatia. Now these teams have a major opportunity to go one ahead of England. Well, even 3 points ahead of England, of course, if they can win this game. Now, on paper, these sides are fairly weak, but the managers on the touchline both know each other. Will Peat and Simon Bullock are the two managers today. They are under severe pressure, of course. Could this turn into a tense rivalry? Aaron Zahavi of Israel, he was the second top goal scorer in the Euro qualifiers. He scored 11 goals in the qualifying round. That's the same amount as Cristiano Ronaldo. As for the Czech Republic, they already have experience of beating England, of course. They beat them in the qualifiers back in 2019. Very, very good game for them. Can they potentially cause a shock and get out of the group? We have the national anthems in a moment. This game is going to get underway, and hopefully we're going to see some goals today. Best of luck to both players as we continue with the national anthems. Still haven't turned the sound on, which I really should do. I keep forgetting, and eventually I will sort it out. In fact, the next game I will do. But as we stand here and listen to them mime to nothing because there's no national anthems in the stadium, we have had score predictions in the chat for this game today. Chris has said he thinks it's going to be a 0-0. Surely 0-0s will come back at some point. We'll find out as the game kicks off in a moment. Right, here we go. The players are shaking each other's hands. And let's have a look at the lineups for today's teams. Of course, Pavlenka is in goal of Werder Bremen. Patrick Schick, more of the two recognisable players on the field. He starts up top, of course. RB Leipzig striker on loan from AS Roma. And as for the Israelis, up top they've got Munas de Boer of Hoffenheim and Aaron Zahavi of the Chinese Super League. Rafalov is in midfield. And of course, both of these sides really do want the points. I've been told by Will, as the Israeli manager, to go attacking. And without further ado, game number 1 of day 4 begins here. It's Israel versus the Czech Republic. Now, both of these sides, as I said, will come to this fixture probably very surprised at the result that happened in Group D between England and Croatia, of course, if we call back to yesterday. If you haven't seen it, the highlights are available on the YouTube channel. But England did really, really well, of course, for the first 20 minutes before Croatia came, and Perisic scored quite late on into that game to win it for them. But in this game, 3 points would mean a hell of a lot for both of these sides, of course, going into match day number 2. Here's Zmerhal, moves it into Vladimir Darida, who takes a shot, and it's a good save. And well, first opportunity of this match, 7 minutes in, Vladimir Darida of Hertha Berlin has decided to try and take an effort from just outside the box. Good little shot, kind of straight at the goalkeeper, but he does make a nice little save. And first opportunity here for the Czech Republic to maybe get an early goal. Let's find out what happens here. Of course, Darida is going to whip this one in. He does indeed towards the middle of the box, but it's cleared away by Nacho of the Russian league. De Boer hits it long for Aaron Zahavi. Great touch from the Israeli striker, but Marek Suchi is very, very well defended. Very well defensively is what I was trying to say there. Of course, very, very strong team on paper in terms of defence. As for the Israelis, very strong attack-wise. It'll be interesting here to see who can break each other down in this game. Here's Munas de Boer. He was at Sevilla last season, now at Hoffenheim in the Bundesliga. Of course, made his name at RB Salzburg in Austria. Fantastic player on his day, and hasn't really had the same goal scoring form he did in Austria, but he is starting to get back to his best in Germany. We move the ball to Degani into Yeni, and it's back to Gershon. Israelis just taking their time here, of course, both sides attacking. Lovely ball to De Boer, lofted towards Aaron Zahavi, but it's well expertly defended there from this Czech side. Of course, I think both teams, if we look at this on paper, will not be happy with a draw. I think both these sides will be desperate to nick the points in this game. Now here's Patrick Schick, tries to get a touch, and he goes straight back to the path of Yeni. But we've got 3 good fixtures today. Of course, this is the end of Group D, and then we go on to Group E, which features Spain, Sweden, Poland and Bosnia. Now, good ball into Munas De Boer, takes a touch into Raphael, good block. Very, very good block there. I think had that shot gone on, it might have gone out for a corner, but instead we have an Israeli throw-in. It's in a good area here. Here is Berem Kial into Dasa, the right back. Moves into the middle of the field, and it's great work there. Into Patrick Schick, of course, said of Leipzig right now. Into Zmerhal, and good defending there by Raphael. Now we can see how the tactical approach is going here from the Israelis. A lot of long balls into the 2 strikers. We're hoping here maybe that these sides can really push on. Of course, as I said before, if the managers do want to go ultra attacking, they are more than welcome to. Just have to give me a heads up in the chat if they feel like they need to. Now here's Kadabarek into Husbauer. Great ball into Patrick Schick, and it's just wide of the post. Very, very good shot. An opportunity there, of course. We see a good ball into Husbauer. Takes a touch, lofted into the box. Schick just wide of the post, and a great opportunity there to make it 1-0. We've had a couple of decent opportunities in this first 25 minutes, especially for the Czech Republic. Can the Israelis maybe have an opportunity of their own here? Here's Berem Kial into Degani. They're just holding the ball here, taking their time. Of course, this really is the game for both sides to nick a point, because they've got to go to play England or Croatia. Now here's Raphael. It's a poor ball into Berem Kial. I think he expected the run of the midfielder to continue there, and it does come back luckily to the Israeli defence, but it goes back to the goalkeeper Harouche. But the point I was making before, of course, both of these sides have got to play England and Croatia next, so whoever wins this game, if there is a winner, is more likely to finish third. Of course, the 4 best third-place teams do go through into the knockout stages, so although these sides might not get into the knockouts, they do indeed need to try and get the third-place spot, if they possibly can. But who knows, the competition. We've had a few shocks so far. Of course, the Russians beating the Belgians. That was a shocking result on day 2, I think it was. But here we go again. De Boer tried to whip into him, and it's cleared away. Now here's Dasa into Berem Nacho. You might remember him, formerly of CSK Moscow in the Russian league. Into Ben Harouche. Back to Nacho, who's in the box. Good work in of the ball, but he falls down, and Tomáš Souček can get the ball back, of course. Tomáš Souček on loan at West Ham in real life from Slavia Prague. Good little player on his day. Could be moving to the club in real life permanently, West Ham, of course. A lot of fans really happy with how he's been so far at the club. But in terms of this game, Israelis are just holding the ball here, just moving it around. Here's Berem Kial into De Boer. Now it's a good ball into Zahavi. What can he do here? Back to Berem Kial. Still holds it. Takes a touch. Moves and works the ball. Waiting for an opportunity to flick this one in. Into Dasa. Now into the midfield to Nacho. Back to Dasa again. But it's a poor ball and the referee blows his whistle. And at half time of this game, it's the Czech Republic 0. Israel 0. Today's edition of the Euro 2020 virtual tournament is sponsored by The Athletic, which is your home for all of the latest news, feature pieces and much more within the world of sports. Whether you like football, WWE, NFL, combat sports, you name the sport, they cover it on their website. It includes a world-class team of writers, including the likes of Oliver Kay and Raphael Honigstein. And you're probably wondering, how do I sign up? It's very, very simple. The link is in the description of every single YouTube video. And if you're watching on Twitch, you can also use !athletic in the chat, and there is a link for you to be able to go and sign up. If you can't access that, then it's theathletic.co.uk/thesportscorner. I'll repeat that, theathletic.co.uk/sportscorner. You get yourself 50% off your annual subscription, as well as a 7-day free trial. So why not come and join us? Once again, theathletic.co.uk/sportscorner. Well, welcome back to what was a very tight first half of football between the Czech Republics and the Israelis. Of course, the advertisement there for The Athletic, if you do want to join us, it'd be greatly, greatly appreciated, of course. A lot of content on there. But in terms of the match so far, the Israelis have dominated possession-wise, but they haven't made a great deal of opportunities in the game so far. 62% possession, one shot, but none of them target. However, the Czech Republics did have the first opportunity on goal. Of course, Vladimir Darida with that first major opportunity. That came quite early into the game. It was the 7th minute, as you can see here. Takes a lovely little touch, cuts into the middle of the goal, but it's a simple save for the goalkeeper, Harouche, in goal. Can any of these sides take the points and have a hold of a potential opportunity to make it into the knockout stages? We'll find out in this second half. No changes requested from the managers so far in this game. Both sides sticking with how they're looking so far. Of course, I'll make changes for Simon in around the 60th, 65th minute. But as it stands, it's still 0-0 in this game. Good little match so far, but not good enough for either side because they both need the 3 points. Now here's Merhal. And the referee's going to bring this back here for a free kick. I don't think here Gerson is going to be happy with this at all. Just making sure that the player's okay here. And the referee is saying, of course, you just need to calm down for a brief second, as he says that to Gerson. Let's have a look at the tackle here. Not the worst tackle in the world, but he gives a free kick in a decent area here, just outside of the box. Could be a great opportunity to whip this in. And standing over it is Vladimir Darida. It's whipped in perfectly, but not executed perfectly, and Gershon is very lucky there that this side haven't got 1-0 down. Now here is Zahavi, bounces over his head. De Boer might have just got a slight touch there, but couldn't really work the ball. It's into Yeni. Now for Zahavi. Passes it in for Munas. De Boer takes a touch, still has the ball. De Boer hits it, but it's blocked, and I think this is going to be a corner. I don't know here. The referee's pointing for a corner. Let's have a look at this opportunity again. Maybe should have took a shot on there first time. Somehow gets the ball back, and the slightest deflection there does mean I think this is rolled out for a corner. Let's have a look. It has indeed. Good chance here. Can Baron Nacho whip this one in? It's crossed in for Baron Kial, and it's just over the bar. And well, a good opportunity goes missing there. Lovely ball into Kial. Does get his head onto it, but a little bit high and a little bit wide from the Israeli midfielder, of course, of Brighton, formerly. We will remember Baron Kial for. They do have some other players as well. Nur Bitten, you might remember of Celtic. He's on the bench today too. But so far, the Israelis in this first 10 minutes have come out in this match and done pretty well. But still no goal in this game. Could we have the first 0-0 in the last couple of matches? Here's Filip Novak. He's going to be moved into Zmerhal, into Berem Dokal. Now Zmerhal gets the ball back again. Whipped in for Schick. Oh, it's just wide. Well, that is the closest we've had today. Unfortunately, it's pulled off by the linesman there for offside, but that was exceptionally close to going in, although it wouldn't have counted. And I think even there, the Israelis can say they're very, very lucky to have not potentially have got 1-0 down. A bit of a wake-up call there for them. And here they come again. Patrick Schick, good holding of the ball. And now look at the pace of Vladimir Darida. Loads of space to move into. And that is fantastic defending from the Israeli back line. Brilliant work from them. The pressure is now starting to build as the Czechs come again. The goalkeeper punches it away, and luckily it goes into the path of one of the Israeli defenders, of course, playing a back five in today's game. Still attacking, though, and we have seen they have had a little bit of a threat on goal, but not good enough to nick any points as of yet. Although here comes Raphael. Great ball into Aaron Zahavi. Good save. Great save from Pavlenka. And that could potentially keep the Czech Republic in this game. Brilliant, brilliant save. De Boer surely should have scored there. One-on-one with the goalkeeper. And misses a fantastic opportunity to make it 1-0. Well, he scored 11 goals in qualifiers. And that should have been his first in the actual tournament. Very unlucky there. Here's Baron Kial. We are going to make substitutions now for the Czech Republic. Make all of our free subs for them. If the manager wants to make a change for Israel, he's more than welcome to. Give us a heads up and we'll bring some players on for him. So we're going to bring on Jebri Selassie. I'm going to take the most tired players off the field here for him. And we'll bring on Janko as well. Or Barak, actually, because he's higher rated. So that is the Czech Republic side, all sorted. Of course, as I said, if you are new to the stream, welcome one and all to the competition. 24 real-life players are taking part in this. Each player is a manager for a singular nation in this game. So, of course, they get to choose formations, lineups, and everything throughout this tournament. We are going to put Raphael in Kyle's place. And swap Solomon for Kayal. Do you want to bring on Saba? I know, of course, we talked about Saba before. Do you want to bring Saba on? Because he's higher rated. 69 as a cam and Saba's a 74. I can bring him on for you. Because I know positions on this game could be a little bit technical in certain aspects to whether they're higher rated in certain positions and not in others. We'll see what the Israeli manager says. Bring on Saba. Perfect. Right. There we go. That's how it's going to work. We've got the substitution here for both sides. Made all 3 subs for the Czech Republic and a substitution for the Israeli manager. Let's go back into the game and see what happens here. Now here's Dessa. Bombing down the right-hand side. Great ball into the box. But it's a comfortable save for Pavlenka. Of course, Pavlenka of Werder Bremen in real life. Putting up a very good fight for survival. Still in the relegation zone in the Bundesliga, however. Now here's Merhal. Great ball. It's a Patrick Schick. And it's a quality save by Harouche in goal. Brilliant, brilliant save. And well, I've got to say, both goalkeepers have been absolutely outstanding in this game so far. Long ball, whipped it to Schick. But Harouche in goal can very, very simply save that. And with 15 minutes of this match, tensions are very high. Are the managers going to try and go all-out attack to get a potential win? We have a change here for the Israeli manager. Again, he says put Nacho at the defensive mid spot and Raphael and Saba as attacking mids. We will do that for you now. So I will put Saba there and Raphael there. And I'll just make sure here, is this all right for you in terms of the formations and that, and then we'll go back into the game. Of course, the Czech Republics still, they made 3 changes, 3 attacking changes for the Czech Republics, and a couple of big changes here as well for the Israelis in this game in terms of the formation and how it's going to play. Perfect. Let's go back into the game then and find out what happens. 15 minutes left. Here's Dassa. He's been really, really good today on the right hand side. Tries to cut into the middle. Good ball into Nacho. Works it to Ben Harouche. Back to Nacho. And he's great defending there. But Nacho gets it back. In for Zahavi. Tries to pass it back to him again. But unfortunately, the ball was not hit with enough power. And now, Berem Dokal had a great opportunity. He's got to do better there. Here comes De Boer. Oh, that's an absolute crunching tackle. The ref plays on. I don't know whether any of the Israeli players will be a bit frustrated with that. A bit of a head clash, it looked like, more than any tackles with the feet. Zahavi, Raphael, Nacho, back to Zahavi, takes a touch, but the power on the shot is just not enough to really worry Pavlenka in the goal. Well, the Israeli manager's not happy here. He's a bit upset with the tackle that went in earlier, a bit of clash of heads. Now here is the last couple of minutes of this game. I don't think there'll be a great deal of additional time. Gershon. Both sides need to push to get the winner, of course. England dropping points against Croatia means that one of these sides needs to take the 3 points. Raphael, just a little bit tired, can't get the ball. Derrida. Now he's back to Kiel again. It's a very, very open game of football. Rafalov, Zahavi keeps going. A minute of additional time. Nacho, good tackle put in by Hushbauer. And he's lofted it high, but the referee doesn't let them play on. And the Czech Republics and the Israeli play out a 0-0 draw. Well, we haven't had a 0-0 draw for a couple of games now. And this was the game to bring it back. Both sides very, very even on paper when we looked at it straight away, and both sides were very, very even on the pitch. One of the main opportunities of this game was the Vladimir Darida 7th minute shot. We had a couple of other chances, Zahavi with an opportunity as well. That should have really been hit into the back of the net. But unfortunately, in Group D, both sides miss a great opportunity to go ahead of England, and this game is going to end Czech Republic 0, Israel 0. Well, welcome along to Rome for the beginning of Group E. Spain and Sweden are kicking off this group in style. Two of the bigger teams, well, I wouldn't say bigger teams, of course. We've got Spain, who are the giants of the group, and very free middle section teams, I'd say. Of course, we have Sweden, Poland and Bosnia, who will all be contesting, no doubt, for that second place spot. There's a lot of pressure for both of these sides. Of course, we've seen in the tournament so far a couple of teams shocked with these games. And it's going to be a tricky one, of course. The Belgians did lose to the Russians in the first match of their group. Could the Swedes potentially shock the Spaniards in this first match day of Group E? Of course, there's a lot of tricky games in this group. A lot of very similar teams on paper. The Swedes, of course, they were knocked out by England in the World Cup, but they do have a couple of good players on their side, including that man on your far right-hand screen. Zlatan Ibrahimovic has been recalled to the Swedish side by Lewis for the tournament. Can he potentially be one of the star players? In terms of the lineup for the Spaniards, they've got a very, very great side on paper. Ramos, David Silva, Diego Costa is up top today for the Spaniards. As for the Swedes, of course, I said before, Ibrahimovic has been recalled. Marcus Berg, one of their top goal scorers, is in the side as well. Victor Lindelof and Andres Grankvist are at the back. Of course, Grankvist did very, very well at the World Cup. Had a fantastic tournament. Can he do the same again here in Euro 2020? So, the game is about to kick off. Here we go. Spain versus Sweden to kick off in Group E. It's going to be a very, very interesting game on paper. Both managers are going attacking for this game. Now, we had a 0-0 draw in the previous match between Israel and the Czech Republic. Of course, these two sides are much better on paper in terms of their teams. But are they going to give us the stellar attacking display that we would like to see in Group E? So, of course, Spain, we know that they love to hold the ball, keep possession and take their time. We saw the Austrians do it in a very similar approach. Will the Swedes be able to hold on in this game? Good ball into Diego Costa there. Just can't get the ball into him. Now David Silva gets it back to Diego Costa, but a poor ball as he tries to work it towards Isco. According to the Romanian manager, KD thinks Lindelof is going to boss it. We'll find out, of course. 10 minutes into this. It's still 0-0 so far. Here's Diego Costa into Isco, to Saul, to David Silva. Holds the ball, takes his time, but unfortunately takes too much time. Albin Ekdal there is able to get the ball back. Now here's Augustinsson into Andres Grankvist, who is getting on with age now. Brilliant player, back in the Swedish league, but still makes it into the Swedish national side, of course. Had a very impressive World Cup in 2018, although they were knocked out by England in the quarterfinals of the competition. Here's Pontus Wernbloom. Into Grankvist, back to Lindelof, one of the star players of the Swedish side today. Plays at Manchester United in the Premier League. Of course, that is back in a couple of days' time. Into Grankvist, goes long for Ibrahimovic. I think we'll see a very similar approach from the Swedish side that we saw from the Israeli side. A very similar formation, 4-4-2, two attackers that are a little bit further pushed forward in case they can hit on the break. Of course, we have Marcus Berg alongside Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who's now at AC Milan in Italy. He's had a pretty stellar career and some of the highest sides in world football, including the likes of PSG, Manchester United and Barcelona. Of course, he would love to add the Euros to his list of stellar trophies within his career. Could he potentially do that with Sweden? Here is Ibrahimovic into Marcus Berg, who plays in the Qatar League, into Wernbloom. Back to Ibrahimovic, who tries to dink a ball up, but unfortunately, it's not going to get into the path of Emil Forsberg. Here's Thiago. A little bit of a slow start in this game, as the Spaniards just pass the ball around, take their time. They know that they don't really have to rush it here. Of course, both sides are attacking this match. Here's Jordi Alba, bombing down the left-hand side of the field. Great work there from Emil Krafth. On loan at Newcastle in real life, or permanently. I can't remember which one it is. I think it's permanent, actually. Used to play in France. Here he is on the ball now. Into Emil Forsberg. Back to Wernbloom. And a poor ball there, but Wernbloom was able to get it back. Grankvist. Ekdal. Victor Lindelof. Hits it long for Marcus Berg, but unfortunately hasn't got the height to get the ball. And now Spain can counter-attack here, and it's just very poor. Tried to hit it for Diego Costa, but unfortunately just couldn't get the ball to him. Carvajal having to work it around the back here to Jordi Alba, and I have to say in this first half an hour, this has probably been the most boring game in terms of the fact there's probably been no opportunities of goal so far. Thiago lifts it high into Jordi Alba, who's got a lot of space to run into here. Cuts in, holds the ball, takes his time. Now it's in for Isco. Works it to the midfield for Thiago. And it's great defending there from Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who's come back to help his side out. Here's Victor Claesson. He's going to lift it into Marcus Berg. But unfortunately, once again, they seem to be going for this long ball approach, which Marcus Berg hasn't got the height to be able to get the ball. You really need to be playing that into Zlatan Ibrahimovic if you want to go and do high possession football and lofting chip balls. Here's Busquets into Diego Costa. Now for David Silva. But it's not the best shot in the world. And it's a very simple save for the Swedish goalkeeper. He's going to hit this high into Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who, of course, does have the height. Now, Emil Forsberg. He can hit this for Marcus Berg, but it's a good save by David De Gea. And there's our first opportunity we've been waiting for. Now, can Spain counter-attack? Here is Isco. Holds the ball. Waits for the run of Diego Costa. He does try to hit the ball for him, but unfortunately, he doesn't get into him. And at half-time, it's not been the most stellar encounter between these sides. It's been very, very poor. But the first major opportunities come courtesy of Marcus Berg late on. Wasn't the best attempt in the world, but it's our first opportunity of the game. And as it stands, Spain 0, Sweden 0. And well, as you can see here, 60% possession for the Spaniards. They've had a lot of passes, but they've not really done anything with it so far. The Swedes quite happy to sit back and attempt to counter-attack. But so far, very disappointing here from both sides. I think, as I said, the Swedes will be very, very happy with the fact that they're still in the game. But the Spaniards, I've got to say, have been pretty boring in this game so far. They've not really worked the ball to any attacks. Are we going to have any changes from the sides here? I don't think Chris will be happy at all with how his side is played. I think he'll be very frustrated at the fact that a lot of the ball has been in the midfield and not really going anywhere in terms of attack. Can we potentially see whether Chris can get back into this game? He says not going to all need to up it in the second half. But there's no changes so far. I haven't had any information on any changes. We'll find out here what happens, and we'll go into the second half. Hopefully, we'll keep going here. The Swedish manager is saying that he hopes Berg is going to score a belter. Well, we'll find out and see if Berg can score a belter in this second half. As it stands, Spain 0, Sweden 0. And now it's an opportunity for Marcus Berg again. But unfortunately, David De Gea is quicker to the ball. Now here's Forsberg into Pontus Wernbloom, who takes a little bit too long to hit the ball high into Zlatan Ibrahimovic. And very, very poor here from Spain. Jordi Alba just put under severe pressure on the ball. Here's Wernbloom into Emil Krafth. Into Forsberg. Lifted in for Emil Grankvist. Oh, well, Grankvist has come all the way up there. And he should have scored that. Great opportunity from Grankvist. Here's Ekdal. Wernbloom. Grankvist, he's all the way up there. Augustinsson. Hits it in. Cleared away, and I tell you what, the Swedes are under severe pressure to score here, and the Spaniards are under more pressure to defend because Grankvist just hit the crossbar there. Oh, well, that was a great opportunity to make it 1-0 to Sweden. Great opportunity. Here they come again. Emil Kraft hits this long for Emil Forsberg. Great touch. Keeps it in. Hits it for Ibrahimovic, who just can't get there. Ekdal. Ibrahimovic takes a shot, but it's just a little bit weak. And once again, similar to Berg earlier, it's not the greatest of opportunities to test David De Gea. And it's very, very tense, this game right now, because the Swedes are doing spectacular. Now here's Costa. Very poor ball into Danny Carvajal. The Swedes are absolutely all over him, but Isco gets the ball here. He takes the shot, but unfortunately just can't do anything right now. Here's Forsberg into Marcus Berg. Now it's Vernbloom. Hits it for Forsberg. Could be a great opportunity to hit this ball into Berg. He does, but it's lofted with too much height. And unfortunately, it's not going to get anywhere. And oh, we've got a corner. We've got a corner here. The pressure's on, I tell you, man. It's tense. Augustinsson for Grankvist. He can't get it. Here's Kraft. Whips it in. Tries to get it to Vernbloom. And I tell you what, this Swedish side is incredibly impressive in this game so far. Ekdal hits it long for Ibra. Pushes it down to Augustinsson. You'd think right now that they had to win this game or else they were going out. They've been spectacular in this game so far. Spain really don't know what to do right now in this game. They're passing it about, but they can't attack. Here's Thiago. It's Acosta. Now for Isco. And we're going to have a substitution here from the Spanish manager. Subs now. He's wanting Luis Alberto on for Saul. He's going to go a little bit attacking here. And Iago Aspas coming on for Diego Costa. He really is not happy. Does the Spanish manager want to go all-out attack? Because I tell you what right now, the Swedes are doing really well. And it's simply into the hands here of the Swedish goalkeeper. I've got to say, it really does feel like this is match day 3. And the Swedes are desperate to win this game because they've been outstanding. Still no goal in this game. I'm going to make some subs now here. Yeah, he's not here in the chat right now. I'm going to make some subs for him. I can see he's in the Facebook group, but he's I've not had any messages. I'll make the subs for him. I'll take the most tired players off for him and see what happens here. I'll keep the 2 strikers on because I think these 2 are all right for now. We'll bring on Svensson for him. We'll bring on Jimmy Dermaz of who's high rated. Actually, I'll bring on Larson, and we'll also bring on Mr. Lustig as well. Bring on Berg. We'll have 2 Bergs up top. Yep. So it looks like take off Berg. Yeah, go on then. We'll take off Berg. We'll bring on Kaison. Oh, that's the other Berg. My bad. I want Kaison. Have I now got to put this Berg on? Is it glitched? I can't bring him on. Oh, it's because I made the change. Well, what I'll do is Lustig there, and then we'll bring Kaison on as well. There we go. So Kaison comes on. He'll play as a second striker. So we're all right there. Morata on for Isco. Okay. So Morata is going to go on there. A 4-1-2-1-2 we're going for now. Isco and Morata. I tell you what now, both these managers are going all out. This is how it's going to play on paper. Let me move that there for you. Pretty much a 4-1. I'll push these guys up a little bit more so it's looking like 4-1-2-1-2. And that's how it's going to work. 4-1-2-1-2. He refused to be subs. He didn't want to come off there. He was fused. He was like, I'm not coming off in this game. Right, 4-1-2-1-2. And Chris is going all-out attack. He's absolutely not happy with his side. This next 20 minutes could be absolutely nutty. It's match day 1, and both these managers are absolutely going at it in this game. Here's Thiago. Takes a lovely touch. Holds the ball. Whips it in. Tries to get it to Morata, but he can't. Now Busquets. Into Thiago. In for Busquets. But Larson gets the ball. And now this is a great opportunity to counter-attack because look at the space that Robin Kaison has to run into here. But Jordi Alba gets the ball back. Great defending there from the Spanish fullback. And the referee is going to give a free kick here to Sweden. And well, this could be a very, very exciting last 20 minutes. As I said, both teams are going at it like this is the final. Here's Forsberg standing over this free kick. He's going to loft this one in for Grankvist, but it's a very, very low ball. Here's Ekdal. In for Kaison. Does get a touch. Forsberg can't keep it in play. Unfortunately, it goes out for a Spanish goal kick. And well, Chris is not happy here. He's fuming with the ref. Lindelof into Larsson. Here come the Swedes again. Svensson passes it in for Robin Quaison. He's through on goal here, but a heavy touch. It's such a heavy touch. And he can't do anything. And now, here comes Spain. Ramos bombing forward into Luis Alberto. And now the space is there for Iago Aspas. He can run into it. Aspas! 81st minute. The Spaniards have opened the game. Iago Aspas. And just like that, the counter-attack works for Spain. It's Spain 1, Sweden 0, and they are in the lead. And well, they've not done much all game long. Very unlucky for the Swedes, but he has absolutely hammered that into the goal. And the Spanish side that has taken a long time to wait for an opportunity at goal has smashed it in, and it's Spain 1, Sweden 0. And well, the Swedes will slightly feel disappointed. They've had a fantastic game, but there's still 8 minutes in this match. Can they get an equaliser? Ekdal tries to move it into Larsson, and well, this is where the floodgates could open now. Here we go again. Grankvist tries to work the ball forward. David Silva into Busquets. Ramos heads it in for Ekdal. Now, Larsson. This could be a great opportunity. I've heard here the Swedish manager is calling. He said there on Facebook he's calling for free up top. That's what I've heard. He's heard for a free up top. I don't know how I'm going to work this. I'm going to just slightly change it up here. I don't know who's going to play striker. Ultra defensive. The Swedish manager has asked for a free up top. So Larsson, Ibrahimovic and Quaison are going to be up top here. And then we're going to have a little bit of a change here. The pressure really is on in this game to get a goal. Forsberg is going to go in as a attacking midfielder. Spain going ultra defensive. Not usually the approach you'd expect there from the Spain side, but they're looking to go ultra defensive. Thought that was former Hull City legend Seb Larsson. I'm not going to lie, Kieran. I thought the exact same. So, ultra defensive is the approach here from the Spaniards. Forsberg into Svensson. Tries to get it in, but unfortunately you can't. 2 minutes of time left. Can we get a late equaliser in this game? The referee has given a free kick here in a very good area. Very good area. Can the Swedes nick this late on? Can they nick it late on here? Very best of luck. They've got a great player who can hit one of these. Here's Forsberg standing over this free kick. He's lofted it in, but it's a terrible ball. And now here comes Grankvist. Tries to loft it high. The Spaniards holding back here. How long is going to be left? 2 minutes of additional time. It's hit long. Larsson goes for the acrobatics. Svensson can get the ball back. He's got to push for goal here now. Lifts it high. Tries to get it to Lindelof. The Spaniards try to get it in. And the referee blows his whistle. Spain nick the game late on. Well, the Spanish manager is really not happy with the way that the ref has played this game. But his side were on the back foot for the majority of the game. And it came late on. Iago Aspas with the winner in the 82nd minute. The Swedes will feel slightly disappointed they didn't come out with anything in this game. 3 shots, 3 on target for the Swedish. 3 shots, 2 on target for the Spanish. And as it stands, Spain take the 3 points. It's Spain 1, Sweden 0. Well, we are in Rome for what feels like the 400th time of this competition. It seems like all of the competition is in Italy. It's Bosnia and Herzegovina who are playing Poland today. Well, we just witnessed a pretty dramatic match in Group E between Spain and Sweden. Sweden will definitely feel like they missed a great opportunity to nick some points. But the Spanish side, who were a little bit slow at the races, nicked the points in the end. Are we going to see something similar in this game, or is this going to be a tight affair as the Bosnians face off against the Polish. Now, the important thing for those that are watching is that the Bosnia side is not controlled today by a actual genuine person. This is the charity spot. If the charity spot wins the tournament, it is double cash. So it's going to have a very, very tricky task of trying to win the Euros with Bosnia. But they are coming up against Paul's Polish side, who are looking fairly strong, of course. They have got one of Europe's top scorers in world football right now, Robert Lewandowski. He is on absolute fire right now for Bayern Munich. So both of these teams will hope to get their first 3 points on the board. Of course, this is a very, very tight group. We've got, of course, that Spain side who would be the standout on paper to go through, but also 3 very, very tricky teams to play up against. It's always important to get off with 3 points in your first game. So the very best of luck to both managers in this team and in this game, of course. Let's find out what happens as Bosnia and Herzegovina faces off against Poland in our final fixture of day number 4. Of course, day 5, we have Group F coming up, which is going to be certainly interesting, the group of death. So in terms of the lineups today, Henizeko is the star man of the Bosnia and Herzegovina side. Their top scorer, Amir Gojak, who scored 4 goals in qualifiers, isn't in the lineup today. He's on the bench. As for the Polish side, they're going for a 4-5-1. Robert Lewandowski up top, with Jakub Blaszczykowski, a blast from the past, playing in this game. Of course, the formation here isn't really showing it to proper effect, which is why I'm very going to quickly pause this and just make sure that it is a 4-5-1. It absolutely is indeed. That's how the formation is looking on paper for Poland. It definitely wasn't showing. It definitely wasn't showing a 4-5-1 in game. Anyway, here we go. Bosnia versus Poland. The Polish side are going attacking. Let's find out what happens in this game between Bosnia and Poland. They've faced off against each other only 3 times before in their history. Poland have never lost a game to the Bosnians. Will that happen today? Here's Lewandowski, who, of course, is going to be one of the star players for this Polish side. Is always a target and a threat for any team, whether he plays for Bayern Munich or Poland. Here's Jakub Blaszczykowski, formerly of Borussia Dortmund and an old teammate of Lewandowski. Whipped in here for Lewandowski, but it's just wide of the post. And while we were just talking about him, and he nearly made a pretty big impact the first couple of minutes into this game, Blaszczykowski with a lovely weighted ball, of course, to be crossed in there, and Lewandowski, who is the captain of this side, just wide of the post. But a good start here from the Polish. 5 minutes in, could have certainly been 1-0 up already in this game. Now, here's Simiro into Bikasic, of course. This Bosnian side did actually get through our Euro playoff games. They did beat Republic of Ireland in penalties. Here's Edin Dzeko. Tries to work it to Jajalo of Udinese in Serie A, who gets tackled. Of course, a midfield that's quite heavily related to the Italian Serie A side. Of course, we have Pjanic in the midfield as well, of Juventus. It's going to certainly be interesting here to see whether these sides can break each other down, of course. Here's Blaszczykowski again. Is he going to whip this one into the box? He goes into the midfield, but great defending there, and Klasinac is able to get the ball back. Here's Vishka. Tries to get to Dzeko. Now it's into Marcel Rebus of the Russian League. Holds the ball and takes his time. So a great start here by the Polish. Really attacking, which is what we like to see. Todorovic tries to whip it in. Comes back to Marcel Rebus, formerly of Terek Grozny, into Matthias Klich for Lewandowski, who tries to take a shot, a goal, but it's just very slightly blocked. Now here's Todorovic into Memisevic. He plays at Saykor Rizespor in the Turkish league. Moves it to Klasinac into Senjan Lulic for Jajalo. And well, here, it's an interesting first 20 minutes. The Bosnians not really getting much of an opportunity to attack. The Polish really starting this game well. Here's Simiro. Now for Marcel Rebus. Great ball into Kamil Grozicki, and it's just cleared away by Bikasic. And the first corner of this game goes to Poland. They are absolutely dominating, 58% possession so far. He's going to be whipped in here. Tries to get his Kedziora. It's blocked and it's cleared away. And well, desperation there to clear their lines. Bosnia in severe danger of potentially going 1-0 down. And this Polish side are looking incredibly dangerous. Here's Jakub Blaszczykowski. Holds the ball. Poor ball there. Doesn't make it to the path of anyone. And Vishka can now start a counter-attack. Dzeko lofted long into Senjad Lulic. And look at the space here. It's a great touch. And look at the space he can run into. It's a poor tackle. But it's cleared away. And I don't know what's going to happen here. Whether it's a corner or whether the refs pulled this back. He's given a corner. And now it's going to be whipped in by Miralem Pjanic. Trying to get in for Lulic. But he can't. Back to Pjanic. Into Klasinac. Now in for Pjanic. Into Simiro. Just outside of the box here. Todorovic. Vishka. And it's a good block. And now the Polish could counter-attack. Here's Robert Lewandowski. Into Kamil Grosicki. Formerly of Hull City. Now of West Brom. Hoping to go into the Premier League. Of course, second as it stands in the EFL Championship. Which starts up in a couple of days' time. Whether they'll make it to the Premier League or not. It's looking likely. Here he is on the ball. Tries to get to Rebus. Keeps it in play. Now into Piotr Zielinski of Napoli. To Jakub Blaszczykowski. To Krychowiak. Into Klich, who tries to take a touch. But a great tackle there. Now here's Adam Vishka. Look at the pace of him. The Bosnian can run forward here. He's got time. He passes it in for Senjad Lulic. But it's great defending from Kamil Glik. Quality defending. The Polish veteran coming back there to save his side from what was a great opportunity. Now, here is Kamil Grosicki into Piotr Zielinski. Now for Marcel Rebus, who has certainly been an influence on this game so far. Passes it into Klich. Now for Grzegorz Krychowiak, formerly of PSG. Now for Lokomotiv Moscow. In for Lewandowski, takes a touch, but the defending here is expertly well and cool and calm from the Bosnian side. Here's Pjanic into Lulic. They can really start to counter-attack here. Jajalo moves it to Simiro. Back to Pjanic. Lofts it high to Adam Vishka of Istanbul Basaksehir here in the Turkish Super League. Trying to fight for the title in Turkey. Lofts it for Dzeko, who does get a slight touch, but it's not going to be enough to really test this Polish side. And well, there's going to be no additional time. The referee blows his whistle in this game. It's Bosnia 0, Poland 0. And well, it's been a very, very good start for Poland. But there's a lot of work to be done. 0-0 at half-time in this game. Let's find out what happens in the second half of this match. And well, the Polish here, 58% possession, 42% for the Bosnians. They've done pretty good so far in this game. But as I said, there is a lot of work to be done with this Polish team. If they want to go and win this game, if the manager wants to make any changes, then hit me up now and I'll make some changes for you. We will keep, of course, with the Bosnian side. So I'll just give a very brief minute here to make sure that the Polish manager, who is Paul, doesn't want to make any changes. Maybe he wants to go all-out attack in this game. We'll find out what happens here. Of course, as I said, this Bosnia side will keep the same for now. I'll make the changes as I usually do in the 60th minute. Of course, this Bosnian side have got a lot of work to do. They had a couple of decent chances to go through on goal, but unfortunately, nothing coming good as of yet. Well, I think the managers are quite happy to go here. I've not had any messages. I will assume that the managers are all good to go here and fine with what we've got. Just to make sure. Yep, Paul says he's sticking for now. That is absolutely perfect. Very best of luck. We're going to the second half. 0-0. Let's find out what happens in the second half. Best of luck. Paul is happy with how his side is playing. So here we go. The second half begins, of course. We waited till quite late on in the previous game for a goal. Will we see a goal in this game? Let's find out. Kamil Grosicki bombing down the left-hand side. Lewandowski is calling for the ball. Holds it. Waits for the opportunity to whip this one in. Now, Piotr Zielinski into Marcel Rebus. Tries to hit it low. But unfortunately, Lewandowski can't get the opportunity on goal. And now it's hit up here. We'll find out what happens. Dzeko heads it down. Into Marcel Rebus. Now for Kamil Glik of AS Monaco in real life, of course. He's had an interesting career playing at Torino and Monaco. He's seen a lot of things in his time. of course, was at Torino with a high point now. Struggling with Monaco, down towards the mid-table in France. Here's Dzeko. It's Casemiro, back to Pjanic, one of their standout players, of course, as I said. Plays for Juventus, looking to win another Scudetto in Italy. And we keep going here now. Zielinski tries to loft a late ball into the path of Robert Lewandowski. And the Bosnians can really hit here. Here's Simero into Edin Vizca. He's going to hold the ball into Todorovic. Taking their time, holding the ball. Not really trying to attack. Pjanic. It's Jalo. Back to Pjanic. Into Kolasinac, who's got some space and time. Kolasinac. What can he do here? The Arsenal fullback still holds it. He's waiting for an opportunity to pass the ball. Back to Lulic. They are really taking their time here. Lovely ball from Kolasinac, but it's going to go out of play. And we'll make the 3 substitutions as we have hit the 60th minute of this fixture in this game. So we'll make the subs here for the Bosnians, of course. And we'll find out what happens here with the Polish manager to whether any changes happen or not. So the more tired players, we've got Jalo. He'll come off for Krunic, the 78 rated midfielder. We will take off... Ooh, who's tied here? Not really many players, to be honest. We'll bring on Prisic as well, and on this left-hand side, we will bring on Hadrovic instead of Lulic. So there we go. We'll find out what happens here. He'll play as a second striker. So that is the Bosnian side all sorted. I don't know whether the Polish manager will want to go all-out attack or whether he'll want to stick with the attacking approach. We'll find out what happens here. We have got a request from the Polish manager just coming in now. It's like the banker on Deal or No Deal. You can't see who he is. Let's see what happens here. We might have a couple of changes from the Polish manager. 4-4-2, Piatek on for the CDM. So Krychowiak is going to come off. Piatek is coming on, and a 4-4-2 is what we're going to get here. Of course, Krzysztof Piatek. 84 rated as a centre-forward. Let's see if he can bring any magic to this side. So we'll close these guys in a little bit more. And just to make sure, of course, I'll need to give a little bit more extra time. Is that all right for you on paper, Paul? I can always move the midfielders a little bit closer in if you need me to. And then we'll get back into the game. Still plenty of time in this match to see whether the Polish or the Bosnians can nick this, or whether we're going to get another 0-0 draw today. Of course, the goals aren't as free-flowing today, unfortunately. That's fine. Perfect. Well, the Polish manager is happy with his side. Let's find out if he wants... well, if Piatek can get the goal. And here he is now. Krzysztof Piatek coming on for Grzegorz Krychowiak. Can they nick a winner in this game? Of course, if the manager wants to go all out attacking. We'll see what happens there and find out. And now here's Edin Dzeko. Gets the ball back in for Edin Vizca. Lovely touch and a great save. And luckily, it hits the path of Kamil Glik, who's able to clear. And desperate times means desperate measures. The Polish could have been 1-0 down there. Very, very lucky. Now here's Marcel Rebus into Zielinski. And the referee is going to pull this back here for a free kick. I don't know really what happened there. I think that's very, very harsh. Not really a great deal going on there. A bit of pushing and shoving. But we've got a Polish free kick here. It's way too far to be hitting this. But of course it can be lofted into the box. Of course Lewandowski being a very tall target man. He could hit this into the back of the net. So they've also got Kamil Glik if they want to push any centre-backs forwards. We'll find out what happens here. It's lofted into the box for Piatek. He's not going to make it to him. But Matisz Klik can get the ball into Jakub Blaszczykowski. Takes his time. Moves it into the middle, into Kedziora. And it's a great tackle there from Prisic, who can really hit now. Here's Hadrovic into Sead Kolasinac, who hits for Dzeko, the captain. Now Edin Vizca, who's been a menace all game long so far for the Polish. He's on the ball again, cuts in, moves it to Todorovic, who bombs down that right-hand side, lofts in a ball for Edin Dzeko, but the acrobatics are just a little bit too much there from the captain of Bosnia. And unfortunately, the opportunity goes beckoning. And well, it was a lovely run there from Dzeko, but unfortunately, just a little bit too high with the scissor kick there. Good opportunity, and would have been a spectacular goal, but we still stay 0-0 in this match with 20 minutes to go. Will any of the managers see their side nick a late goal? Well, here's Glik. into Krzysztof Piatek. Now in for Lewandowski. Great ball here for Jakub Blaszczykowski. Has he got the pace to move the ball? Does get the ball, but fortunately Kolasinac is just strong. We know what Kolasinac is like in real life. He's a brute of a defender, and he simply gets that ball back no problem. Now here's Edin Dzeko. Tries to beat Bednarek of Southampton. Good work there from Kamil Glik into the path of Jakub Blaszczykowski. Now it's Piatek. Good defending there from Memisovic. And the Bosnians can attack. And here he is again, Edin Vishka. He's been a menace. He still goes. Moves it into the middle. Now it's Pjanic. Holds the ball. Moves it to Prisic. Here's Todorovic. Good chance to loft this into the box for Edin Dzeko. But fantastic defending once again from Kamil Glik. And we have a corner late on for the Bosnians. It's going to be whipped in by Miralem Pjanic. It's a short corner for Dzeko, who you'd have expected to be in the box for this. Lofts this in. It's a very poor ball and a weird choice there from the Bosnians. And it might come to hurt them now. Here's Lewandowski. Not really got anyone to pass the ball into. And unfortunately, he's hit there. And now the Bosnians can hit on the break. But he's back at the feet of Lewandowski. Tries to hit it long for Kamil Grosicki. Can he get the ball? He can't, unfortunately. But Rebus can. Here he comes. Back to Rebus again. Moves into the middle. Will he loft it in? Oh, it's a great crossing of the ball to Blaszczykowski. Cuts in. Blaszczykowski hits it. And it's just blocked. Unlucky there from Blaszczykowski. Imagine that as a late winner in this game. Now here's Hadrovic. He's not been on for too long. Into Kolasinac. Back to Hadrovic. Here's Rajad Krunic of AC Milan. He's absolutely wiped out there. And 89 minutes into this game, the referee is going to give a talking to here. Could we see a late Bosnian winner? It's a little bit far out to be hitting this, but it's in a great position to send everybody up. And Pjanic stands over this. It's lofted in for Dzeko, who touches it down for Prisic. And Vishka takes the heavy touch. And well, Blaszczykowski has picked up an injury here. He's not moving well, unfortunately, with 30 seconds to go. Here's Dzeko trying to work to get the ball, but the referee will surely blow his whistle. He plays on as the Polish try to attack, but unfortunately, that's where it ends. The Polish and the Bosnians could not break each other down, and what was a great opportunity to take the first 3 points of this tournament ends with a 0-0 draw. The Bosnians looked dangerous. Lewandowski looked a little bit quiet at times, but he had the odd opportunity here and there. We could have even saw a Blaszczykowski winner at the end. But as it stands, in Group E, Bosnia take a point, and Poland take a point too. Bosnia 0, Poland 0. And well, it was an interesting game. A couple of decent opportunities, but both sides once again will rue a lot of missed opportunities. So there we go. As the table stands and how the tournament has been so far, we're into Group F tomorrow. As it stands, of course, Group A. Let's go to the table. You can see some of the scores there from the games that have happened. Not the most amazing in terms of goal affairs, but as it stands, Group A, they're all on 1 point. It's still all to play for. No goals in Group A match day 1. Will that change in match day 2? We will find out. As for Group B, Denmark and Russia are top. Belgium are bottom right now. Of course, they lost to the Russians 1-0 thanks to a Fedor Smolov winner. As for Group C, Austria and Netherlands, they're top right now. Austria with a 3-0 win and the Netherlands with a 1-0 win. The Ukrainians, the Romanians still have time to battle it out with 2 more match days to go. Croatia, they got a big victory against England. And Israel and the Czech Republic, as we saw not too long ago, got a 0-0 draw, which means as it currently stands, England are bottom of the group. There's still time for them to potentially get back, of course. As for Group E, as it currently stands, Spain are top thanks to a late winner from Iago Aspas. The Swedes will feel very, very harsh done there. But the Polish and the Bosnians in a 0-0 draw even, which means they both got 1 point on the board. So that is today's fixtures completed. But keep your eyes out because tomorrow we have the big group. The group of death. 4 teams are about to play off in what is the toughest group of the tournament. Kosovo, Portugal, France and Germany. We will be live with those fixtures tomorrow It is the group of death. We start off with Kosovo versus Portugal, and then the big one. France and Germany face off. That is at 3 PM UK time. You do not want to miss it. As we finish off match day 1 in style. So overall, it's going to be a tricky group of games tomorrow. But even before then, it was a very tricky group of games for the teams that played today. Match day 2 will be coming up shortly with our final match day 1 games. But who will come out on top? If you've missed any of the previous matches and you would like to see them, if you're on Twitch right now, ! YouTube, you can go to youtube.com/thesportscorner and subscribe to the channel. And for anyone watching the highlights, of course, you can keep your eyes out. Twitch.tv/thetopcorner. We're live pretty much every single day throughout the tournament at 3 PM UK time on Twitch. You do not want to miss it. There's some good games to come. But as for now, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoy the tournament. If you are new on Twitch as well, do leave a follow. We'll be back tomorrow for the group of death. You do not want to miss it. But as for now, we'll see you tomorrow. See you later.